explore the intricate and often convoluted familial connections of historical monarchs, as we delve into the lives of 20 rulers whose bloodlines were characterized by close intermarriages. From the complexities of royal lineage to the impact on their health, discover the intriguing narratives behind these notable figures in the annals of monarchy. Christian VII of Denmark. Reigning from 1766, emerges as one of the most inbred sovereigns in history. Born to Frederick V and Louise of Great Britain, he married Caroline Mathilde of Great Britain in 1766, and they had a son, Frederick VI. However, Christian VII proved unsuitable as an absolute monarch due to suspected schizophrenia and erratic mood swings. During his early rule, he engaged in debauchery at Copenhagen's brothels. The influential J.F. Struensee, the king's physician, briefly held real power, but was overthrown and executed in 1772. Struensee's affair with Queen Caroline led to the dissolution of Christian VII's marriage. Subsequent power struggles involved figures like Ove Hoek Guldberg, with Crown Prince Frederick VI ultimately taking control in 1784. Christian VII's death in 1808, marked by a heart attack in Rendsburg, coincided with a misunderstanding of the arrival of Spanish auxiliaries as enemy forces. Cleopatra VII of Egypt. The last queen has transcended time, becoming a symbol of enduring allure and controversy for over 2 millennia. Shakespeare's immortal words about her infinite variety capture the fascination she continues to evoke. Dante placed her in hell, Chaucer portrayed her as a virtuous lover, and Pascal mused on the potential world-altering impact of her nose length. Her captivating narrative includes seducing Julius Caesar, choosing Mark Antony over Octavian, and infamous displays of opulence, like dissolving 10 million sesterces pearls in vinegar. Theatricality defines her legacy, portrayed in countless paintings, ballets, plays, and films. Notably, the scandalous 1963 Cleopatra. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton's off-screen romance mirrored the on-screen drama, solidifying Cleopatra's image as a symbol of opulence and excess in the modern world's imagination. Joanna of Castile. Known as Joanna the Mad, held nominal queenship over Castile from 1504 and Aragon from 1516 until her death. Born to Queen Isabella I and King Ferdinand II, Joanna's marriage to Austrian Archduke Philip the Handsome in 1496 positioned her as heir presumptive. After a series of familial deaths, she ascended to the throne in 1504, and her husband became King Philip I of Castile in 1506. However, Philip's death in the same year marked Joanna's decline. Declared insane, she had little influence on policy, confined by her father, Ferdinand II. Despite nominally sharing the throne with her son Charles I, she remained confined until her death at 75 in 1555. Joanna's upbringing included a diverse education, spanning law, literature, languages, and arts, making her an educated royal, though her reign was marked by her mental health struggles. King Tutankhamun of Egypt. Often recognized as King Tut, rose to the throne of Egypt at the tender age of 8 or 9, reigning from 1332 to 1323 BC. Despite a brief and historically insignificant rule, his posthumous fame soared after the discovery of his remarkably preserved tomb and mummy in 1922. Tutankhamun's family connections played a crucial role, with figures like Ay, potentially his maternal grandfather, and Horemheb, the military commander, guiding the young pharaoh. Notably, Tut's achievement lay in restoring the cult of Amun-Re, reversing the religious reforms imposed by his father, Akhenaten. While King Tut's reign lacked prolonged influence, his well-preserved artifacts and mummy continue to offer valuable insights into ancient Egyptian history, making him an enduring subject of global fascination. George IV of the United Kingdom. George IV, George Augustus Frederick, the 12th of August 1762, the 26th of June 1830, served as the King of the United Kingdom and Ireland, as well as the King of Hanover, from 1820 until he died in 1830. His reign was marked by scandal, financial excess, and a tumultuous personal life. As the eldest child of King George III and Queen Charlotte, he automatically became Duke of Cornwall and Duke of Rothesay at birth. George IV's extravagant lifestyle and penchant for dissipation contributed to the fashions of the Regency era. Despite being hailed as the first gentleman of England for his charm and culture, his contentious relationships with his parents and wife, Caroline of Brunswick, tarnished the monarchy's prestige. His rule was marred by political irresponsibility, favoritism, and strained relations with ministers, leading to a legacy of controversy and discontent. Alfonso XIII of Spain. Alfonso XIII, the 17th of May 1886 to the 28th of February 1941, known as El Africano, reigned as the King of Spain from birth until the proclamation of the Second Spanish Republic in 1931. As a monarch, he aligned himself with military ideals, earning the moniker of a soldier king. His rule began amidst the aftermath of the 1898 disaster, and his public image became entwined with the military estate. Despite his wedding to Victoria Eugenie of Battenberg being marred by a regicide attempt in 1906, he played a crucial role during World War I, leveraging family ties to maintain Spain's neutrality. However, his reign faced challenges, including the rise of Miguel Primo de Rivera's dictatorship in 1923 and subsequent political unrest. After voluntarily leaving Spain in 1931, he witnessed the establishment of the Second Spanish Republic. Notably, he, nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1917, stands as the sole monarch ever considered for this honor, Princess Victoria Melita. Born on November 25, 1876, at San Anton Palace in Malta, faced a complex life marked by royal intricacies. As the granddaughter of both Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom and Emperor Alexander II of Russia, her lineage intertwined European royalty. Known as Ducky within her family, she experienced an unhappy childhood due to her parents' tumultuous marriage. Her father, Prince Alfred, Duke of Edinburgh, was unfaithful and emotionally detached, while her mother, Grand Duchess Maria Alexandrovna, offered devotion but faced challenges in the union. Despite her shy and serious demeanor, Victoria displayed artistic talent and a close bond with her sister Marie. Controversially, she married her paternal first cousin Ernest Louis, and by Rhine in 1894, a union that ended in scandal and divorce in 1901. Subsequently, she wed Grand Duke Kirill Vladimirovich of Russia in 1905, facing challenges due to religious differences and political opposition. Louis XIV of France. Known as the Sun King, ruled France from 1643 to 1715, boasting the longest verified reign of any sovereign. Despite emblemizing the age of absolutism, Louis surrounded himself with influential figures while personally initiating his rule in 1661. Committed to centralizing power, he pacified the nobility by compelling them to reside at the opulent Palace of Versailles. He enforced Catholic uniformity, revoking the Edict of Nantes and persecuting Huguenots, reshaping French society. Louis engaged in significant conflicts like the Franco-Dutch War and the War of the Spanish Succession, defining his ambitious foreign policy. Under his reign, France emerged as a dominant European power. Despite military successes, Louis left a heavily indebted kingdom to his successor, Louis XV, marking the enduring impact of his influential era on French history and European geopolitics. James II of England. James VII and II, the 14th of October 1633 OS to the 16th of September 1701, ascended to the thrones of England, Ireland, and Scotland in 1685, succeeding his brother Charles II. His reign, marked by conflicts over religious tolerance and the divine right of kings, came to an end during the Glorious Revolution of 1688. As the last Catholic monarch of England, Scotland, and Ireland, James faced opposition from the English and Scottish parliaments due to his Catholicism. Attempts to impose his measures by decree further fueled dissent. The birth of his Catholic son and heir raised concerns about establishing a Catholic dynasty, leading to his eventual deposition. In 1689, a convention parliament declared James had vacated the English throne, establishing the principle that sovereignty derived from parliament, not birth. James spent the remainder of his life in exile in France, with later views on his reign varying between critiques of absolutism and acknowledgement of his advocacy for religious tolerance. Henry VIII of England. Henry VIII, the 28th of June 1491 to the 28th of January 1547, held the English throne from 1509 until his death, leaving a legacy marked by 6 marriages and a transformative impact on England's political and religious landscape. Notably, his desire to annul his first marriage led to the English Reformation, where he declared the Church of England independent from papal authority and assumed the title of supreme head. Henry's rule saw the dissolution of monasteries, financial restructuring, and aggressive foreign policies. Despite being praised as charismatic and accomplished, his later years were marred by excesses, contributing to financial strain. His reign, often considered the most pivotal in English history, left a complex legacy of political maneuvering, religious reform, and personal excesses. King Charles II of Spain. Charles II, the 6th of November 1661 to the 1st of November 1700, the final Habsburg ruler of Spain, ascended to the throne at 3 years old in 1665, marking a reign marked by physical disabilities and the ensuing War of the Spanish Succession. Recognized for his prolonged health struggles and childless marriages, his rule is often seen as a period of managed decline for Spain. Facing European scrutiny over his succession, the choice boiled down to Austrian Archduke Charles and 16-year-old Philip of Anjou. Despite Charles naming Philip as his heir before his 1700 death, diplomatic failures led to the outbreak of war in 1701. The Habsburg tradition of intermarriage, driven by blood purity statutes, contributed to physical traits like the Habsburg jaw, with debates persisting on whether Charles's health issues were due to inbreeding or other factors. Peter II of Russia. Peter II Alexeyevich, the 23rd of October 1715 to the 30th of January 1730, Emperor of Russia from 1727 until his premature death at 14, inherited a tumultuous reign marked by disengagement and disorder. As the sole son of Tsarevich Alexei Petrovich and Charlotte Christine of Brunswick-Luneburg, Peter's upbringing fell under the influence of figures like Alexander Menshikov and Prince Alexei Dolgorukov, leading to a neglect of state affairs and a reinforcement of serfdom. Engaged to Ekaterina Dolgorukova, Peter succumbed to smallpox before the marriage, becoming the last male agnatic member of the House of Romanov. Orphaned at 3, Peter faced seclusion and limited education, with Menshikov's dominance continuing even after Catherine I's death in 1727, shaping the young emperor's destiny amidst political maneuvering and familial connections. Ferdinand I of Naples, also known as Ferrante, ruled Naples from 1458 to 1494, leaving a lasting impact on the Italian Renaissance. Illegitimate but influential, he stabilized Naples during his 30-year reign, enforcing social laws that curtailed the power of barons and favored peasants and artisans. Nicknamed the Judge of Italy, Ferdinand skillfully navigated foreign and diplomatic policies, strengthening alliances and earning a reputation as a generous patron. His resilience was tested against conspiracies, military challenges, and constant threats from the Ottoman Empire, France, Venice, and the Papal States. A skilled politician and military leader, Ferdinand modernized Naples, surrounded himself with artists and humanists, and contributed to the city's architectural legacy. His strategic prowess, economic initiatives, and cultural promotion positioned Naples as a Renaissance protagonist, boasting the most potent navy in the Western Mediterranean. Queen Victoria of England. Born on the 24th of May, 1819 at Kensington Palace, London, Victoria inherited the throne due to the lack of legitimate heirs among her uncles. Losing her father, Edward, Duke of Kent, shortly after birth, she became queen at 18 upon William IV's death in 1837. Victoria, a warm-hearted and talented individual with a flair for drawing, documented her life extensively through journals. Linked with Britain's era of industrial growth and empire, her reign symbolized economic progress. Influenced by Prime Minister Lord Melbourne initially, she later married Prince Albert in 1840, gaining insights into constitutional monarchy. Albert's endeavors, notably the Great Exhibition of 1851, showcased their joint interest in arts, science, and industry, leaving a lasting impact on the South Kensington Museum's complex in London. The Ptolemaic dynasty. maintaining an ancient Egyptian tradition extensively practiced inbreeding, including sibling marriages, contributing to their monarchical lineage. Notable pharaohs often married their siblings, co-ruling in tandem. The trend began with Ptolemy IV and Arsinoe III, whose union produced Ptolemy V. Even Cleopatra VII, the renowned Ptolemaic pharaoh, married and ruled with her brothers, potentially part of a lineage where parents were also siblings or cousins. The dynasty faced physical ramifications, with members described as extremely obese, exhibiting swollen necks and prominent eyes, likely consequences of inbreeding depression. Familial Graves' disease and multi-organ fibrotic conditions, such as Erdheim-Chester disease, were proposed explanations. The Ptolemaic rulers, denoted on the cup of the Ptolemies, often shared joint rules with relatives, frequently sisters, aunts, or cousins. Louis XV of France. Ascending to the throne in 1715, Louis XV, dubbed, left an indelible mark on France. In 1722, he reinstated the court and government at the Palace of Versailles. A passionate patron of science and botany, he enriched Versailles' gardens and built the Petit Trianon for his mistress, Madame de Pompadour. As the heir to the Duke of Burgundy and great-grandson of Louis XIV, he assumed kingship at just 5 years old in 1715. His education, guided by mentors like Maréchal de Villeroy and Cardinal de Fleury, fueled interests in diverse fields. Married to Marie Leszczyńska in 1725, the couple had 10 children. Despite the early promise of an heir, the king's reign faced political and societal challenges. Pedro II of Brazil, known as the Magnanimous, held the throne of the Empire of Brazil for an impressive 58 years. Born in Rio de Janeiro in 1825, he faced a challenging childhood after his father's sudden abdication. Despite a lonely upbringing, Pedro II developed a sense of duty and devotion to his people. Inheriting an empire on the brink, he transformed Brazil into an emerging power with political stability, economic growth, and civil rights. Victorious in wars and a staunch advocate for abolishing slavery, he earned global respect. However, a coup led to his overthrow, marking the end of Brazil's monarchy. Despite a period of instability after his reign, his positive legacy was later recognized, cementing him as one of Brazil's greatest leaders. Ferdinand I of Austria. Emperor Ferdinand I, 1503 to 1564, had a childhood marked by political maneuvering and familial complexities. Born in Alcalá de Henares in 1503, Ferdinand was raised in Castile as a Spanish prince under the guardianship of his grandparents, the Catholic kings. His mother's return to Spain in 1506 marked the beginning of a tumultuous period, as Joanna, the heiress of Castile, struggled with melancholy and confusion. Ferdinand, along with his elder brother Charles, became pawns in the political games orchestrated by their grandfathers, Emperor Maximilian I and King Ferdinand of Aragon. Charles, confident in his claim to the Spanish crown, sent Ferdinand to the Netherlands. Initially intended as a temporary stay, Ferdinand's time in the Netherlands extended due to the death of Emperor Maximilian I in 1519. Under the regency of his Aunt Margaret of Austria, Ferdinand's exposure to Renaissance art, literature, and music left a lasting impact, shaped by influential figures like Erasmus of Rotterdam. King George III of England. George III, 1738 to 1820, ascended to the British throne, marked by a tumultuous reign and significant geopolitical shifts. Ruling from 1760 to 1820, he witnessed the union of Great Britain and Ireland in 1800, forming the United Kingdom. He was born in Great Britain, spoke English as his primary language, distinct from his predecessors. His marriage to Princess Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz resulted in 15 children. Military conflicts, including the 7 Years' War and the American War of Independence, shaped his reign. Despite early successes, the loss of American colonies marked a turning point. Wars against revolutionary France and Napoleon concluded with the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Facing recurrent mental illness, speculated to be bipolar disorder or porphyria, George III's later years saw his eldest son, the Prince of Wales, named Prince Regent in 1811. His death in 1820 ended a reign lasting 59 years, making him the longest reigning British monarch at the time. Alexei Romanov. Alexei Nikolaevich, 1904 to 1918, the last Tsarevich of the Russian Empire, faced a tragic fate marked by hemophilia and the turmoil of the Russian Revolution. Born to Emperor Nicholas II and Empress Alexandra Feodorovna, Alexei's hemophilia led his parents to seek unconventional treatments from Rasputin. Following the February Revolution of 1917, the Romanovs were exiled to Tobolsk, Siberia, and the October Revolution sealed their tragic destiny. Fearing advancing White Army soldiers, the Ural Regional Soviet ordered the execution of Alexei, his family, and retainers in 1918. Persistent rumors of Alexei's escape circulated, but in 2007, his remains were found alongside his sister Maria. The Romanovs were canonized in 2000. Legitimists sometimes refer to him as Alexei II, refusing to recognize his father's abdication. Described as a handsome child, Alexei's appearance and charm are remembered through accounts of his striking features and lively demeanor. Their legacies, marked by familial complexities and health implications, offer a unique lens into the Byzantine world of royalty. Thank you for embarking on this historical journey. Subscribe for more captivating narratives.